I am absolutely thrilled you're here because today we're taking something that looks incredibly intimidating and turning it into something you can master in just a few minutes. Look, if you're building a PC or upgrading your rig, you already know that Nvidia controls a massive chunk of the gaming market. But let's be real for a second. Their naming scheme, it can get incredibly confusing. So today, we are transforming Nvidia's messy alphabet soup naming formula into a simple, easy-to-read decoder ring. All right, let's dive right into this.
Have you ever just stared at a graphics card box that says something utterly ridiculous like RTX 4070 Ti Super 16GB and wondered, what on earth am I actually paying for? I mean, it literally looks like a random string of numbers and letters someone mashed on a keyboard, doesn't it? But hidden inside that gibberish is actually a very specific, highly logical code. And once you understand it, you'll know exactly how powerful the card is, who it's built for, and most importantly, whether it's actually worth your hard-earned money.
So here's our roadmap for systematically breaking this whole thing down, reading it from left to right. We're going to cover 5 clear parts. First up, the prefix. Second, the generation. Third, the power tier. Fourth, the suffixes. And finally, number 5, the VRAM trap.
Let's start our decoder ring at the very beginning of the name. Step 1, the prefix.
Okay, so every Nvidia card starts with a few letters. For a really long time, the standard was GTX. Now, if you see a GTX card today, like the famous GTX 1060, it basically means it has an older, budget focus, and it's intended for really basic gaming. They're fine, but honestly, they're missing the modern magic. The new standard, that's RTX. If a card has RTX in front of it, it means it features dedicated hardware built right into the chip for 2 massive features. First is ray tracing, which gives you those crazy movie-realistic lighting, shadows, and reflections. The second is DLSS, which is basically Nvidia's secret weapon. It uses artificial intelligence to generate extra frames, magically boosting your game's smoothness without losing visual quality. Seriously, if you're buying a card today, you absolutely want an RTX card.
Moving right along left to right, step 2, the generation. Right after those letters, you're going to see the generation number, which is usually the first 2 digits in the sequence. This covers the older 10 series, all the way up through the 20 series, the 30 series, and the modern 40 series. The rule here is incredibly simple. The higher the number, the newer the technology.
But here's the kicker. Upgrading to a newer generation doesn't just mean more raw speed. It means better power efficiency and access to exclusive new software. For example, that amazing frame generation feature of DLSS 3, it is locked exclusively to the RTX 40 series and newer. You literally cannot get that feature on an older generation card, no matter how powerful it is.
Now we move into the beating heart of the graphics card. Step 3, the power tier.
The last 2 digits of the number tell you the exact performance class of the card, completely regardless of its generation. Let's just walk through these tiers because it's like a giant puzzle that suddenly clicks. Class 50 is your entry-level 1080p card, perfect for the casual or esports gamer playing Valorant or League of Legends. Class 60 is the mainstream 1080p Ultra King. It's always been the sweet spot for price and performance. Then we jump up to Class 70. This is the high-end 1440p tier for AAA story games with buttery frames. Class 80 is the enthusiast 4K level built for high refresh rates and 3D rendering. And finally, Class 90 is the flagship Extreme. We're talking extreme 4K, AI development, and the user who wants absolutely zero compromises.
To really put this into perspective, think about the target user for that Class 70 tier. This perfectly captures it. If you recently bought a 1440p monitor and want to max out the graphics on heavy AAA story games while keeping a buttery smooth frame rate, this is the card you buy. These power tiers aren't just arbitrary numbers. They map directly to your real-world gaming upgrades and the exact monitor you're using.
All right, we've decoded the numbers. Now let's tackle the extra words Nvidia tacks onto the end. Step 4, the suffixes.
Nvidia absolutely loves to release upgraded versions of their cards halfway through a generation, and these suffixes act like little puzzle pieces showing you the exact power bump you get. So, step 1, if there's no suffix, that's just your standard base model. Step 2 is the super suffix. This is a mid-cycle refresh offering a noticeable performance bump, usually giving you way better value for your money. Step 3 is TI, which stands for titanium. Think of TI as basically the Pro or Max version. It is significantly stronger than the base model. And finally, step 4 is the T-Super. Nvidia actually combined them recently. The T-Super is the ultimate maximum upgraded version of that specific tier.
And that brings us to the very end of the box name. Step 5, the VRAM trap.
Okay, I have to warn you about this because it catches so many people off guard. You have to pay close attention to the gigabytes at the very end of the name. Sometimes, Nvidia releases two cards with the exact same name but completely different amounts of video RAM or VRAM. Take the RTX 4060 Ti 8GB versus the 16GB version. They might look identical at first glance, but their ability to handle high-resolution textures is drastically different.
So, what's the magic number you should be looking for? It's 12. For modern gaming, especially if you're playing at 1440p resolution, 12 gigabytes is the absolute minimum you should aim for. Anything less, and you run a huge risk of your game severely stuttering and lagging just because the card runs out of memory for the game's textures.
So let's revisit that intimidating anchor string from the very beginning. Look how satisfying it is to read this left to right now that we actually have our decoder ring. RTX 4070 Ti Super 16GB. RTX means it has dedicated ray tracing and AI hardware. 40 means it's the latest, most efficient generation. 70 means it's a high-end 1440p beast of a power tier. Ti Super means it's the absolute maximum upgraded version of that 70-class card. And 16GB means it has plenty of memory for heavy future games, safely avoiding the VRAM trap. The gibberish has literally become a completely clear, understandable spec sheet.
Boom! Just like that, you're a GPU expert. You can walk into any electronics store or browse any website and know exactly what is sitting inside the box. So I want to leave you with this question. What graphics card are you currently rocking in your PC? Apply your new decoder ring knowledge and drop your card's full name in the comments below. Let us know exactly what generation and power tier you're working with. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.